Ooh, sorry. What a way to start. How's everybody doing today? It's Friday, and it is the day before spring officially starts in the Northern Hemisphere. And I hope everybody is great. It's nice and sunny here in New York, and I'm looking forward to going out later. I hope everybody's had a great week and is getting prepared to have a great weekend. Sorry, still fiddling around and trying to make sure that everything is good for the live stream. And I think that it is. So last week, talked about taking material, a pre-recorded piece of audio that we had, and then treating it or processing it or whatever word you want to use, but basically affecting it with and then recording how we're affecting it in real time to create a new piece of audio that we can then assimilate into or add into our music. So let's get right into an example where I did this. I challenged myself this 2021 to release a new piece of music every full moon, and so the last full moon that we had in February, this is the piece that I came up with, and I've kind of been constructing how I came up with it. As always, if anybody's got any questions, just put it in the chat, and I will hopefully see it. So let's see here. Without further ado, let's get into it. I guess kind of piggybacking on where we left off last week. What I did here was I have this piece of audio, and this is a synth preset I came up with, and this is already affected. I'm honestly not sure if I still got the dry audio in this file, but that's not super important. What is important is that I took that piece of audio, tweaked it, played with it further, and then came up with still getting the hang of Reason, Reaper. Still getting the hang of Reaper. I had been using Logic for a really long time, and I still use it, but for mixing, I'm starting to get into Reaper. Thank you, Reaper. So I've got this, I labeled it Primetime Audio because that was probably the biggest plugin that I used. It's 9 minutes and 36 seconds. It's about 9 minutes. So I've got 9 minutes of me manipulating that little small piece of audio. And then what I did from there was I was like, 9 minutes was too long. It was, a lot of it was just me reacting to what my tweaks did. So what I did was I then cut up that 9-minute piece of audio, and these right here are the cut up portions, and I can play those for you, or just a few of them. And this is on a fade in, that's why we're not hearing anything at the moment. Doobie doobie doo. It should be heard. Maybe I need to put it here. There we go. So that's kind of similar to what we had already heard earlier. Here's probably the first major break. You can hear that higher stuff, or excuse me, the lower stuff being added in there. And I thought that was a kind of cool texture to put in, so I put it in. A more obvious break is this. And again, this is all from the same long piece of audio that I had recorded. I just cut it up to the interesting parts that I liked, and just kind of like cut and pasted where I wanted it to be. And then it's going to go back to this. And it kind of does that for a while. And then it goes back to this. Oh, Reaper, you drive me nuts sometimes. So the point I'm trying to get at here is, once you've created your little background ambient track, so to speak, get in there further, cut that up, rearrange it. I like to think of these as collages, right? You remember a collage from like art class or whatever. It's like you got a picture of someone in the upper left-hand corner, and then you got a picture of a cat right next to it, and it's like, oh, this person likes cats or whatever. Anyways, so I'm trying to create these audio collages, which is an idea that I got from the amazing musician producer Daniel Lenoir. Huge fan of his, and have been diving into his music for, I don't know, 5 years now, and just seeing where it leads. There's a lot of stuff with Brian Eno that's cool. It's this, and I think Lenoir kind of got this approach maybe from the dub guys. Dub is a awesome style of music from Jamaica, where you got this pre-recorded audio, and then you treat it and you manipulate it and you bring it in and out and create something further new. So like I was saying, I've got this kind of like cut up piece of audio that I then add my other pre-recorded sounds to, right? If you remember, I think maybe not last week, but 2 weeks ago, we recorded some, that's what I want, the chimes. I recorded, there you go. I recorded each of these, I call them chimes because that's what they sound like to me, like wind chimes or something. But I had recorded these as individual tracks, and then I kind of mixed them how I liked them, and then I kind of base where I want these to sound. Kind of, I bounced it back and forth with that pre-recorded stuff. There's a bass track in there. And the bass is going to come out. Bass is this red stuff. Take the bass out. The chimes are still going. This is that high-pitched stuff you hear maybe on the right side is all from the ambient audio track. The bass is going to drop back in because I thought it would sound cool there. And it's all about, you can see it here. This, like I said, the bass is the red. It's all about dropping these tracks in and out and trying to create some movement, create a picture. Like I was saying earlier, create a collage. Okay, so this is obviously leading up to something, right? It's getting louder. And then cut and paste. It's like back in the old days when people used to record onto tape and do a lot of experiments with tape. They would, slice the tape up with a razor, and then use adhesive tape to connect it to the other piece of tape, and then here's another tape cut coming up. So it's really all about creating movement and not being afraid to manipulate your audio. And you may say, well, what if I don't want to make ambient classical new age music or whatever this music is called? You can still take audio that you've recorded. Let's say you've got a vocal track, and you can still take that vocal track and process it or do something with it to then put it in a different place in your music. I remember being really surprised and happy to hear I think it was on a Fuji's record. I heard Lauryn Hill, her voice, she cut out a sample from her voice and she placed it in a different part of the song, and I was like, wow, that is really cool, because I'd never thought of doing that. um I'd never thought of doing it like that before. So this idea can be taken into, all areas of music. And I think honestly it gets back to the root of, we've got everything that we need. Sometimes, I'm as guilty as everybody, being like, I need to get this to make this part complete, or I need to buy this piece of gear to make this sound how I want it to sound. And chances are I don't need that. What I need is to just utilize the resources that I've already got. And like I said, I'm as guilty as anybody. This is something that we all, I think, struggle with to some degree or the other. But just really, 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 how creative can you get with what you have? And that's why, I think part of my love for the harmonic series stems from that, because it's such a basic, simple concept, but it is so rich with nutrients that we can grow our ideas in. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, that's all I've got to say. I guess I should pitch a couple things now. So that music that you heard, it was my last full moon release. It's called Snow Moon, or Steel and Snow. There's a link to it in the YouTube description on Bandcamp. I hope you check it out. And also, if anybody wants to talk some more about music or learn about music or whatever, please hit me up. I would love to help you in whatever capacity I may help you, and in whatever way I could help you. For the lessons, we would just talk about what you want to do, and if I think I can help you do that, we'll agree on a price and go from there. If, however, you're unhappy with the lessons, I would offer you a money back guarantee. So there's no pressure at all. Let's see here. I think that's about all that I want to say. I hope you have a great weekend. Spring is coming tomorrow, and let's everybody just try to be nice to each other. All right. Love is in need of love today. All right. That's what Stevie Wonder said. And it seems like that it's always true. So I'll see you all next week, Friday, 2 p.m. Have a great weekend.